Hello and welcome to another Happy Pod, a podcast that is hosted by me, Nathan Bauer, and my friend Lawrence Heisey, who is engaged to be married. So ladies, he's off the market and he has been for about a year now. Hello Lawrence, how are you?
I'm fine, Nathan, but no one cares about that. Nathan, they care. They care about what the podcast is. So what is this podcast, Nathan? What do we do?
Oh, he's turned it on me this week. Interesting. Well, this is a podcast where we discuss all things in pop culture and try to do so without the ongoing toxic discourse that is so prevalent today. We don't always succeed at that, but we do have a good time doing it. See how efficient and succinct that was, Lawrence?
I do, but words were tough for you there, were they?
Shut the fuck up. You could learn a thing or two.
I was quite impressed with that. I kind of thought at one point you were going to trail off so that I could pick up the other end of it, but then you didn't give me the whole, we don't always succeed part. You just took that. So now I've got nothing.
You don't need... Well, you swung it back at me. So if you're swinging at me, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, it's true, but I usually leave you the arse end so that you've got something afterwards.
No, you leave me the arse end because you're shit at it and don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I forget the arse end and you pick it up.
Exactly. So that's what this is, and we're here to talk about something, and I'll be honest, I forgot what it is like 4 different times today.
Have you not rewatched it since it came out?
No, I watched it once like about almost 2 weeks ago now.
You're a naughty boy who doesn't put in any work for his podcast.
I watched... It was less than 2 weeks ago, alright?
Answer me this. Do you have anything written down?
No.
There it is. There it is.
Not a single letter.
That's because you know that I've been coming in with my talking points recently, my little bullet points.
Well, I prefer a loose structure.
And with that being said, it's time to return to our recurring segment, which is part of our regimented structure. It's time for this. Another happy question. If you don't know what we do, what I do is I pose Nathan a question at the start of the episode. It could be... I ran out of air for a second there.
What the fuck happened there?
You know when you start on a trail and then you forget, like, I've got to take in some air at some point here. But like you're in a rolling sentence and it's going on. You haven't paused for the full stop break.
That just came out of nowhere. You was just talking, and then all of a sudden you gasped.
You know that episode in SpongeBob where he goes to Sandy's little space and she just has a little dome that's got air and no water, and he can't breathe. Yeah. That's what I feel like. I don't need it.
You've been mentioning SpongeBob a lot lately. What's going on?
Mate, I've been mentioning SpongeBob. I've been putting SpongeBob in a load of my edits. I don't know why. I just keep remembering a bunch of SpongeBob specific memes.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Alright, what's your silly little question?
To finish what I was saying, I posed Nathan a question at the start of every episode. It could be a hypothetical, it could be a, what would you do in this situation, which is a hypothetical. It could be a yes or a no, it could be something completely unrelated, or it could be related to the thing that we're talking about. And then I give Nathan 40 minutes, which is the rough time we record for, and then at the end of the episode he will answer the question. And I'll be honest, Nathan, it's a bit loosey-goosey this time.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Hey, come on now. I've had some good ones recently, but I took my foot off the pedal.
Not true.
Yes, it's not, to be honest. So I've put down that we did the MCU last week. So I could go for like, would you greenlight another special? What monster would you, all of the boring shit that no one cares about. I couldn't think of anything exciting, so it's the perfect excuse for me to just check up on my homie and just ask a very simple question. How you doing, Nathan?
Wow.
Hey, go on. Yeah. I'm checking up on my homie. It's nice.
If you hadn't brought up the question this week, I would be almost convinced that you completely forgot about it. And then we're just like, shit, fuck, how are you? That's a question. Technically, you can't prove that it isn't. So.
I forgot about it last week, didn't I? It's like 10 minutes into the episode that I remembered to actually ask you.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
We'll never know for sure.
You've got some time to think about how you are, Nathan. But today, we are here to talk about Werewolf by Night, by the stroke of midnight. Thoughts?
Okay.
No, you're not relying on my notes this time, Nathan.
No, I thought, given the way humans talk, that there might be more to that sentence.
Yeah, but I'm not good at that. I was pausing to take in air so I didn't repeat my faux pas. But,
great,
but then I didn't have anything else to say.
Okay, lovely. Great. So just stop in the middle of a sentence because why not?
I feel like I ended it something there. It's a fact. It's a statement. We are here to talk about Werewolf by Night.
Yes, okay, but it was more your speech pattern, the way your dialogue inflection and that sort of stuff.
My cadence was off.
Exactly.
Words we know because we went and studied drama. I was about to say we went to drama school. We didn't. We went to a very low on the list London university.
Lists do not mean shit all. Very quick tangent. I went to the #1 university in the country for drama. Fucking hated it. Dropped out after a year. Had the worst time ever. Went to, then took a year out. Went to a university that was ranked so much fucking lower, but had an amazing time.
And you met me.
Well, unfortunately, yes. But rankings, there's always some drawbacks.
Okay, I see. That's fine.
Rankings don't mean shit. Don't worry about them. Do what's best for you.
I feel like they matter a little bit.
No, they don't.
I mean, to an employer, maybe.
I've got a job. I've got a good job.
That's true.
You've got a fake job, but still.
It's not a fake. Nathan, I get paid real money and I work real time. We are talking about Werewolf by Night, though, and this time I'm going to keep the sentence rolling until you have something to say.
Werewolf by Night is something that I have seen.
That is a fact. We can both agree on that. No, all right, fine. If you want to fucking have my notes, have my fucking notes.
No. I'll start off. Werewolf by Night is something that I wasn't really aware of or knew anything about until like it pretty much came out. Like I saw something about it a few weeks earlier. They're like, oh yeah, there's this weird little Halloween thing, and I was like, oh, excuse me.
Oh, we're on your time, are we?
My dad's messaged me. You got any plans for Christmas Day, son? We booked Ruse for Christmas dinner. You're welcome to join us, mate. I don't know what Ruse is.
Maybe this is a ruse, and you're going to arrive to a restaurant on Christmas Day and no one's going to be there. Your dad's going to be 7 whiskeys down, laughing to himself.
Yeah, what a great practical joke by my dad.
Ruin your son's Christmas for a very merry time.
Yeah, for no reason at all.
You pull the cracker with a waiter and it just says you're alone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm here. Thanks, cracker. What was I saying? Werewolf by Night is a show or a movie, or not even, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's a shoovie, and it's something that I wasn't really aware of.
Would you say that now you're a werewolf of it?
I would exclusively say that I'm a werewolf of it, yeah. That's the only way I could possibly describe it.
I understand. Well, then I guess our job here is done. So thanks everyone for listening.
See you next week.
No, it was right. I hadn't really heard of it, but one thing I learned about it after the time. Let me take you on a little journey, and you can enjoy this. You are a movie critic that has gone to a prestigious film festival.
Oh, okay. What's this? Is this a hypothetical scenario?
No, this is what happened to actual critics, but I'm painting the picture in, giving you the details.
All right. So I'm a movie critic.
The only person I know that would challenge the premise of
well, I don't know what's going on.
Right, okay. Not to have your world come crashing down. Movie critics.
Is this another
No, this is not. This is what happened, Nathan. Right. Okay. Basically, a bunch of critics gathered for a very prestigious film festival. I don't know which one. I believe it's called
Cannes.
No, I think it's called TIFF, but I don't know what TIFF stands for.
Oh, TIFF. That's Toronto International Film Festival.
I probably could have worked that out from context, but yeah. What's a major city and then International Film Festival? So they all went there, and apparently every year they do this thing where they have a secret screening, which you don't know what it is. You can only hope that you get there in time, and often it's where they have. They launch great movies, and a lot of people like to go to those screenings.
Cineworld also do a secret screening if you're unlimited members. Probably not the same thing, though.
Thanks. Have they hired you because they're almost bankrupt? Nathan,
maybe.
Please use your extremely illustrious platform to spread the word of Cineworld.
It's about to be more illustrious soon, baby.
Why? Bloody wait and see, everyone. So basically all of them lined up. They all got their tickets. They all got there. No one knew what it was, even to the point of being sat down. And then obviously you get the studio logos come up. Can you imagine all the critics, all the moustache twirlers being sat at their prestigious, illustrious film festival?
They'd all be like, Oh, absolutely not. I'm not having any of this.
Fuck's sake.
I come here for the thrills and the epic highs and lows
Don't
of
say
cinema. No, not this roller coaster ride nonsense that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This isn't cinema. Boo, I say.
But yeah, they all sat down. The Marvel logos. You can picture the dun 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 dun. That came on, and apparently all of them just
What
went.
the fuck was that? Was that the Marvel?
That was a little Marvel fanfare.
Was it?
Well, I took out a few bits of it because I was in my head.
Most of it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but in real time, I was like, does Nathan want me to do an entire 30-second rendition of?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I do. I want you to do the whole thing. Da da da. Da, 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 da. Oh,
What?
wait,
That's
no,
nothing
what
to do. That was way
That
off.
was something entirely different. Oh wait.
Dun
Dun,
dun dun dun
dun,
dun
dun, dun,
dun 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 dun
dun,
dun
dun, dun. Ba, 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 ba. Oh wait, no. Dun, 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 dun. No, it's something else. I can't get-
Yeah, it keeps slipping into Game of Thrones.
It does. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but we know what we're trying to do though, because there's
Yeah.
a little bit that's similar, isn't there?
Game
of Thrones.
No, I didn't. I stayed on Marvel. It's just similar.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
So, all right. So, hold on. So, a bunch of theatre nonces, cinema nonces,
Yeah.
went to a film festival, and they went to a secret screening. They didn't know what they were seeing. They were presumably very excited because this is where big films have been shown in the past.
Yeah.
I assume, and they're excited to see what comes up. And then Kevin comes up, and he's like, "Watch this, you cunts."
I don't know if he gets an intro. Can you imagine if he does? He's just wearing his baseball cap and he's like, "Surprise, nerds! It's me!
Yeah, we've locked the doors.
It's me, the king of Blockbuster." Oh, that's right. You thought you were getting a different aspect ratio? Well, fuck you. Here we go.
This is fine.
Oh dear, Nathan. What a sad, sullen statement that is.
What?
That's. Have you got nothing else to say other than it's fine?
No, it's fine. It's. I think. Look, it's fun, kind of. It's short.
Yeah.
It's less than an hour, I think. So that's great. But it's a little boring.
Do you think?
And
I think if it was longer, it could have used the runtime to. If this was a whole movie, if this was like, a 90-minute thing, it could have used some extra time to maybe give us a bit more werewolf, maybe in the middle, rather than just all of it at the end. But then it's right. It's a difficult premise as well, just in the sense of it, because once he's a werewolf, how do you turn him back and then turn him back again? Like, it's the thing, isn't it?
don't.
It's the ticket of the end of the movie.
yeah.
So I know where you're coming from, but I thought I realized when I was watching this that I kind of we spoke about it last week, but the MCU burnout is a very big thing, right? There's too much, and often there's too much of a very similar natured type of thing.
Yeah.
And the most fun I've had is, like we spoke about last week, with She-Hulk, when they experimented and did something completely different, and it melted a lot of people's brains. I watched this before I'd caught up on all of She-Hulk.
Or even started.
No, I'd semi-started it. But I watched She-Hulk and Werewolf by Night very close together, and I just it kind of reinvigorated my love for it. And like, in a cinematic universe, it should be the fact that it's a universe, right? Like, shit can be different. They can experiment with different kind of stuff. It doesn't all have to be a punch and a kick and a glowy fist beam and you know what I mean.
It's funny that you chose everything that happens in this.
Well,
no,
right? There's a fight sequence in it because it's a thing. It's that, like I said, it's a werewolf thing. Imagine if he turned into the werewolf and then went, "I renounce this evil," and just howled on the moon and fucked off.
I loved it.
No, I like this. I think this was fun. I definitely, especially for Michael Giacchino as well, who I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yes.
This is a great starting point for his directorial career.
Not sure I agree. really, because you are right in that it is something new for the MCU.
Yeah.
And it's something different. And I think that on its own is good and should be celebrated and should definitely be explored more.
Yeah.
Variety and something new is always good. I personally, this just wasn't something I cared for. I think I have no love, no nostalgia. I could not give less of a fuck about the old Hollywood horror, Universal monster movies, like the Man Thing from Mars, or the Mummy from Outer Space, or all that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
like how you went for one pre-existing Marvel thing that's in this, and then the Mummy from Space, which I think is completely made up.
It's two different things. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
But like, I just don't care.
But I think is that not interesting? In it, I know, right?
No,
right. The best,
not to me.
No, but the best thing about variety is it's something different, and you're free to like that change or dislike it. But it also means that the next project down the line that they choose to kind of, maybe they do another special presentation next October, and maybe that's something that pays homage to something you love.
Yeah, but the trouble is, Lawrence, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about this.
No, but I mean, like, I guess I'm speaking more about like the idea and the. I love that they put money behind this rather than let's allocate the budget to let's distribute it amongst a bunch of other episodes of whatever the fuck.
I mean, that is kind of what I said. I did say that like it is something that should be explored more.
Yeah,
and I do like the idea of them doing that. It's just that this personally, for me, wasn't something I liked because, like I say, couldn't give less of a fuck about the whole Hollywood horror nostalgia. I don't care. It's just seems like artistic choices are great, and sure, artistic choices should be explored. I absolutely respect doing something different, but then one thing I don't like is just I don't know how to phrase this. Like nostalgia for nostalgia's sake is just like let's make this look like an old movie. Why?
I guess it's more of a question because I think I know what you're trying to say, but I want to fine tune it in terms of, do you think this was filmed and then they went, let's make it old, or do you think it was always the vision?
No, I think it was always the vision.
Yeah,
and I think that's evident in the design of the werewolf.
Yeah.
First of all, and then how it's quite gory.
Yeah,
as well.
There's an amazing quote from Michael Giacchino that said it's his first time. Obviously, right, all his work is pretty much done outside of set, right? He won't really go in unless he's speaking to a director or whatever. Because, as composing go, it doesn't happen on the studio. And he was like, I kept putting more blood in, and his quote was, no one told me to stop, so I went, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the reason they can get away with it, though, is because it's not red.
Obviously.
That's why, because of black and white, it allows them to do that sort of stuff.
It's flicking on the camera and stuff, like, it's cool.
Is it cool, or is it just, look, it's an old movie? Like, what's the difference between this and La La Land when they go to the fucking observatory?
I guess I draw the line at, I hate it when a movie tells me that it cares about something and then goes, I should care about it as well. Right? This, you're absolutely right. This is very much a case of, if you have no nostalgia for it, if you are just not interested in that genre of film, you probably aren't going to care about it because it's designed to the minute detail to be a complete homage to it. What I don't like in La La Land is it's a modern day musical about a guy that loves jazz and a woman that loves old cinema. And then they go to that, but it's not worked into the plot. They literally just drive to famous film locations and go, now let's float. It's not, I don't think it's properly implemented. Whereas this, you couldn't remove any of it. Like in La La Land, you can get rid of a lot of the nostalgia. It still works as a pretty simple movie.
Yeah.
But in this, it's so richly implemented in all of it that I think this can't become anything else. If you wanted to reshoot parts of this and change it around, you would need to pretty much redo the entire thing, down to a set design level, down to a lighting choice. Because, like, it's why I think it's interesting, like, the black and white stuff, it's so clearly not just a filter they've slapped on, because it's the whites are shot in a way that they are completely overexposed and they look amazing. Like that effect of Man-Thing crushing people's skulls into like gas, that looks great.
Yeah.
But I just think I guess my question, because I kind of brought it up as well. You said this is, I guess, kind of like maybe a good start to Michael Giacchino's directing career. Do you not think, even though it might not have been for you choice-wise, I think this was infinitely more creative than a lot of directors have had maybe the potential to explore?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's definitely something that, I mean, it's evident from the beginning that it's definitely creatively and visually different and everything like that.
Yeah.
How much of that is down to Giacchino? I don't know. Is that something that was baked in from the get-go, from the concept? Or is that something that he brought to it and wanted to do?
Well, the directorial I mean, I guess I don't know, because obviously I wasn't in the meetings and whatever. No. But I think my way of looking at it is, I think it's clear when you look at things that we've got, and then the difference being they've hired a completely different director that's never worked with them never directed anything, so it couldn't have worked with them on a directorial level before. And this is infinitely more stylized and clearly it has clearly brought a vision and upheld it, and it hasn't been, trimmed down, it hasn't been altered as far as we can tell, or if it hasn't been to the point where it dilutes the original vision, I'd imagine. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I think it's creatively done. I think it's quite clearly his vision, given that he directed it and he's scored it as well. So like, there's pretty much nothing going on in this that hasn't got his say so. And obviously it will have been filtered through Marvel's team of producers and etc. But I think it mostly boils down to him, yeah.
I like Michael Giacchino. I think he's for me, he's the next John Williams.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I think his scores are just incredible. And I don't think there's anyone else necessarily working today who, besides John Williams, who gets to the same height.
He's retired now, John Williams, isn't he? I think.
John Williams says he's retired like every time, but then there'll be a new Star Wars project and be like, I'm going to do one more theme for this.
Am I letting anyone else get their grubby mitts on an iconic character?
He'll do like, I reckon he'll do like one more theme for Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like, I never got to do a theme for Indiana's dog or whatever. So he'll come back and he'll do that.
Yeah. That's probably very true, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, we'll see. But I think Michael Giacchino will take his place because he's good. He's incredible. Directing is obviously something new for him. I don't know if I would like to see more. No, that's mean. I would. Sure, let's give him another chance. I can't judge it based solely on this.
You say another chance like this was a fucking pants flop. Like this, it's still good. Like it
was just an hour of nothing.
It wasn't though.
It was just boring.
Right, but because it wasn't for you,
I had to stop myself so much from just pulling out Twitter on my phone and just scrolling through and seeing what shenanigans Liz Truss was getting up to this week.
I know what you're saying, because it's a slow burner and it's an hour long and it's...
I like a slow burn. I love a slow burn, alright? That's not my issue with it. It's just that there was nothing in it that was appealing to me or interesting. It was just... I don't know how to describe it, really. Good thing I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's good thing our whole thing here isn't to articulate our feelings on it. All right, so something I guess I want to ask. Do you think there's a difference between it not being for you and you thinking it's boring?
It's not going to be boring for everyone. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I guess we don't deal with fucking something's objectively this or that, I suppose.
No, it's boring for me. I'm not saying this is bad and everyone who likes it is an idiot. That's not what I'm saying. Just me personally.
Was that a dig at me?
No. Was that? Why would that be a dig?
Was that a dig at me? Because I said that in the fucking. You weren't there to rein me in. I did that in the Nope podcast where I said, if you don't understand this, you're an idiot. And you text me the next day saying, you little smug cunt. Yeah.
A bit snobby of you.
I'm glad I freshly brought that up. Then, if that wasn't a dig at me, I'm glad I put it back in your mind.
No, that wasn't a dig at you. It's just, I'm just saying that, like, it's not. People are going to have different opinions on it, and from what I can gather, a lot of people seem to enjoy this. I think.
Yeah, it's been really well received.
Reaction is quite good. Talk to me about what you love about it then, because clearly this is the best thing ever.
I feel like you've been playing devil's advocate recently. All these, I don't like Top Gun. I don't like these.
Because Top Gun's a bad movie, objectively.
Oh no!
I've gone rogue.
He didn't say Top Gun Maverick though, so that's all right.
Top Gun Maverick 2022 is a bad movie, objectively.
Was it 22? Yeah, it was 2022. Damn. Okay.
It was this year, you dickhead.
Oh, I forget. It was made like a million years ago or whatever.
That was a joke. It's not objectively bad.
Yeah, thank you. I've just gained a few more years of my life now that stress has been lifted. Right, basically, I've already said the main reason I like it is because it's just a breath of fresh air. Whether you like it, whether you like it or not, it's different. You can't argue that. It's very different.
Yes.
As noted by the text you sent me saying, I just watched Werewolf by Night and I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Which made me laugh. I liked a couple of things. I really, really liked how it was only an hour long, nice breezy thing to get through. I like that it has no real stakes. It's not really like massively connected. It's not wrapped up in any other shit. To the point where you don't even know when it's set. Could be any time. Could be anywhere. I really like it. It only is an hour long, but it does so much with that hour in terms of like I know who Elsa Bloodstone is. I know what her relationship with her family's like. I thought all the characters in this, even like a select few of like the kind of the oddball weirdos that are there. I thought they all had like a strong oddball weirdo presence, especially the Scottish guy who's like, I've got loads of kills, me, and then just got his head fucking caved in. I like the subversion of it being a big monster hunting situation, but the two monsters, quote unquote monsters, were just the friendliest dudes there, and just up for a good time unless you fucked around with them, and then you die. What
was the second monster?
Man-Thing and the werewolf.
Oh, the werewolf.
Yeah, the actual quote unquote werewolf. I've seen a lot of people say that this is like a really good. This will be interesting to get your take on. I've seen a lot of people say that this is a really nice metaphor for the state of immigration, like specifically in the US. Like basically a cult of devoted weirdos. I like the idea of them locking people away into cages for just being different to what they consider and perceive to be the norm, even though these people are not monsters and just very nice people that won't be given the chance to be heard. So I don't know, what do you make of that? I think it's quite an apt metaphor. I think it works.
That's the first time I heard that. Hadn't thought about that. Hadn't heard anything about that before. I think
I should point out I don't know if that's what was intended. There's been no comment on that, but I've seen a lot of people throw that about.
Well, art is subjective, and if that's what it means to some people, then that's what it means, and it's definitely an interpretation of it. I can definitely see how you can get that from it, and it mostly works with it, I think.
Do you like the characters in it? Well, you said it was boring, so and mainly that I'd imagine was because there's not a ton of stuff that happens, but you get a lot of character conversations. So what did you make of them?
Characters were fine, if a little, I don't want to say two-dimensional, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just thought this guy is called Jack Russell and he turns into a dog.
Yeah, alright, but that's a dumb name, isn't it? It's a dumb comic name. Yeah, everyone's got a dumb comic name.
That is true, everyone does have a dumb comic name. Look... I don't think there was much to Jack, personally.
Okay. He didn't grow or anything. He didn't...
No, he was a little bland. He was like, from the moment he arrived at the party, the event, whatever it is, he was like, oh, he's clearly like infiltrating. He's like not part of this group whatsoever. Like, he's clearly here to...
He was obviously uncomfortable being there, kind of thing.
Yes, he's not one of these guys.
Yeah.
Really, and that was evident from the beginning. Elsa was probably the best of the characters.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know, there was nothing that I really connected with in them. There was nothing that necessarily made me care for them or their fate all that much. This is hard to describe. I recently played through both of the Last of Us games.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. Both are, in my opinion, masterpieces in terms of character writing, and even in characters who aren't necessarily the forefront of the story as well. Playing through Part 2, I'm not going to give any spoilers for anyone who hasn't played it, but I realised how much I fucking adore the character of Dina.
Yeah.
And how amazing of a character she is.
Yeah.
And she's not the forefront of that story at all. She's not a main character. She's a secondary character. But still, with everything that goes on with her character and how she relates to the main characters in the game, you can glean and get so much about her and about why she does things and what the impact of those things is, and how that ultimately affects her in the end and everything like that. It's beautifully written, and there's so much given in such little sequences, such short sequences that you get with her, and it's done really well. This is just like, and here's a character, they're pretty cool at fighting,
I don't
and
know.
they want to get a sword. Or a stone or whatever.
No, I can see where you're coming from, but I also think you're boiling down to the basics. I think there's stuff that I completely agree with you. Like, and my main arguing point to that was gonna be, you have 25 hours of Dina, but you don't. Also, you don't. Yeah, you get her in small increments within 25 hours. No, I can see where you're coming from, but I also think you do get. It's interesting you say that you only get small moments of Dina, but you can gauge a lot from her. You get insights into her background, her and her sister's relationship, all of the. I haven't played it in a while, but like I'd imagine you get a lot of hidden tidbits to find out more. And I think that's the same can be said for Elsa specifically. Maybe not Jack. The opening minutes, you get the stepmom, the kind of the person hosting these sacred hunts or whatever the fuck. She's told, oh, she's here, and like straight away, just from 2 words, you can gauge this is like it's oh, she's here. Whereas everyone else had this grand entrance, big sliding doors. She just struts in. There's a great mini scene because everything is so quick in this because it hasn't got a lot of time to fuck around, where you gauge so much, like she's like 10 years without training, and she's like, no, 10 years without his training, my dad's training, I left. I think you get a lot of backstory to her and why she would maybe not even want this blood. Is her name Bloodstone and the thing is actually called Bloodstone? Bloodstone. Okay, yeah, that is a dumb comic name, isn't it?
I think that's why the family is called Bloodstone.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because it's always been part of their family.
Yeah. So I like the idea that she's gone back, and it's maybe not something she even gives too much of a fuck about, but just purely to spite her family, she'll go back and win it all. And that's evident from the fact that she tells Jack she's going to take the stone and fuck off, but then she sits in the house and stays there when everyone's dead, and tells the butler, get on with it, clean up your shit. I don't know. I think I can see where you're coming from with Jack, but I also don't think he's the character that needs to have growth. He's very clearly who he is.
But
you can have a stagnant protagonist, though. You can.
He's the title character, though.
No, I get that, but you can have.
Do you not think that if you're selling a show or a movie or whatever this is on a character, you're literally naming it after this character, that character should be interesting? Or
but I don't know. I think he's interesting in a different way.
I like that he's kind of it seems like he's kind of hunting monsters, but to free them.
Yeah, it's a bit vague on it, but it's hunting them for good purposes.
Yeah, if that is in fact what's happening, that's kind of interesting, I guess. But again, not something that's really explored all that much. It's just something that's hinted at, really.
But I think I don't know. I like the bits of character we do get. The scene with him and Elsa in the tomb when they're locked in for a brief bit. Like,
I'll be honest, that was a part where I was trying to stay away from Twitter.
See that you fucking brain rot boy. No, I think in those moments you get insights into him. Yeah, he doesn't grow, he doesn't learn, but it's also an hour long, and where's the opportunity, especially if.
Well, then do more than an hour.
No,
is my argument to that.
Yeah, obviously, but then we all wish we could have more of this. Well, I do. I just think in terms of like sometimes in stories like these, a stagnant protagonist is a good choice because he's there to build the world around him. He's the fact that he's a werewolf, but also just basically boils down to a nice guy that transforms into a werewolf.
Yes.
I like the fact that he shows the hypocrisy in the monster hunters that think they're freeing these souls from these innocent people, but they're more monstrous than he is because he's just a good guy. Yeah, and I like all of that, and I think if you have him go on a big arc, like you lose a portion of that clear show of hypocrisy there.
What did you think of the design of the dog?
It was basically just a dog, wasn't it? I like it. I think it's a great choice, especially because very clearly just him with some fur on him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a cool choice. One, not only because it pays homage to the whole thing that they're doing, the whole Universal monster movie situation, but also it's just different. It's just a different thing. The MCU has no shortage of big CGI, bigger than slightly like 7-foot CGI creatures. It doesn't need any more of them.
No, it doesn't. Could make it look a little bit better though.
But I think it's intentionally like that. Like,
yeah, I know, and again, this is just where it comes down to me just not caring.
What would you have preferred design wise?
I don't like werewolves that are just big CGI dogs.
Yeah,
like Lupin in Harry Potter or the one in Doctor Who. I don't know. I can't give you a specific example because I can't remember one right now. But just basically,
sounds like you're always unhappy with werewolves, Nathan. What's your gripe with them?
Maybe I just hate werewolves. No, but I think a good mixture of between man and dog is good, like a werewolf, because that's what it is. It's both man and dog.
Do you not think that you get that with a man covered in hair?
No, you get a man covered in hair. That's what you just get a hairy bloke. That's all you've got. You just got a big hairy bloke. You've got a poor man's Wookiee is what you've got here.
That's brilliant. That's very accurate. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I just don't think it was a good design. And again, I get it. I get it's the homage to Universal horror, that it's intentionally a bit shit. But then the trouble with making it intentionally look a bit shit is that it's going to look a bit shit.
I guess especially by today's standard. Well, like when Universal monster movies were coming out, like 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, like everyone was like, wow, that is a man dog. That is great.
Yeah.
Whereas now, when people know better,
yeah. I think my issue with this sort of stuff.
Where's Iron Man? Said Nathan.
No, I actually think the opposite. I think this should never connect to the MCU stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if fucking, I don't know, Nick Fury showed up and recruited the werewolf into the Avengers at the end of this, I'd have been like, no, this is awful.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Keep it separate, I think. But what I was gonna say was, I think when it comes to my issue with this sort of stuff and the homage and the nostalgia and all that sort of stuff is, you know what I'm like when it comes to
wanting Iron Man back.
No, fuck off. No, I think like, so in film criticism and just the ongoing pop culture discussion,
yeah,
there's always this kind of running theme, regardless of the conversation, just in movies and stuff in general, that older is better and new is bad. Older is always better and new is bad. Original Star Wars movies better, new ones bad. Old practical effects better, new stuff bad.
Yeah.
And that's something I very much reject. I don't like that idea at all. I think there are filmmaking and stuff has evolved and it has changed, but just because it's changed and they're not using the same techniques as they used to doesn't mean it's worse, okay? Sure, there's some stuff which does look better practical. There's also some stuff which does look better CG. It's just how you use the tools that are given to you, okay? And this, I think it does, not fully intentionally, but I think it does feed into just a little bit of old stuff is better, so let's do old stuff. And in doing that, just completely ignores all the new filming techniques and stuff that we've learned over the years, which helps to craft and enhance your movies. It's kind of like cutting your nose off to spite your face. if that makes sense. Like, we're gonna make it look a little bit shit because that's how it looked in the old days, and older is better, as we know. Does that make any kind of sense?
No, it does, and make no mistake, I think nostalgia porn is a big fucking hindrance, especially when it comes to pushing the envelope forward and trying new things out, because in 50 years' time, what will we be doing if not repeating ourselves from years back now? So I definitely agree with you on some extent. But I also think I completely agree. But I guess my argument to that, and it's not really more of a direct argument because I take your point, but I think the reason why people have leaned so heavily into enjoying this and it's been so well received by film critics and just average MCU viewers alone is we've had a large portion of that. We've had the badly rendered CGI cars and like the very clearly obvious green screen going on, and like I think that Marvel being owned by Disney, one of the richest companies in the world, certainly the fucking overbearing media conglomerate in life, right? It just, there's about 4 media companies that own pretty much the entirety of art as we know it.
Not great.
No, not great. But I think there's definitely an argument to be made that we've had the new way for a long time, and it's been not done correctly. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there pushing the envelope forward and doing an amazing job. But when studios become complacent and become lazy, when they lean so heavily into the opposite or something that's just different from the norm, it's appreciated more.
Okay, but then do you not think that if there has been so much recently of doing it the new way and it being not necessarily great, is the answer to then do it the old way?
No,
which is
not at all.
Great
No,
as well.
No. And that's what I'm saying. This was partially more just a counterpoint. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think there's definitely, I think there is room in this for a healthier mix of modern filmmaking techniques utilized to enhance the present. But not to discredit that there are ways of doing that. But I take your point. They've clearly shot on digital and then added a film grain. They've intentionally, with all the money in the world, given a set department stuff that looks deliberately bad. No, I see where you're coming from, and I don't really have a rebuttal to it. It's a fair point.
Man-Thing was pretty cool, I guess.
Man-Thing was pretty cool. I liked. Yeah. I always like it when you take a big. It's like a big scary thing and you give it a silly name, which is, it is his actual name.
Man-Thing.
But no, but not even Man-Thing, just be like...
Oh, it was like called Terry or something.
Ted, yeah.
Ted, that was it, yeah.
I would have preferred Terry, I think, now. But yeah, I like that he's just like, if you call him Ted, he'll kind of recognize you as a friend. So when she encounters him and she's like, you have a lovely name, and you can just see him be like, huh? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. Good design as well. He looks good. That was a good design, okay? See, this is the thing, it's weird, because they're trying to do both. They have, like, a good monster design, and then they're like, oh, but now let's do a shit one.
Yeah. No, I see it. Again, I don't necessarily think it's shit, but I see where you're coming from. They've intentionally made it worse.
Yes.
And maybe not even... maybe they didn't define it by making it worse. Maybe they were making it classic or whatever. But it does naturally just look... like you have less of a budget because you've superglued.
It's just a bloke.
Yeah, you've superglued hair to a bloke. I see where you're coming from. They are attempting both. I think the one thing that I did love in this is when it flipped back to color. It's given
whilst there's somewhere over the rainbow played because it was very subtle.
Yeah, it was very subtle, and even what I did enjoy in it was the colour that brought back was in spirit of The Wizard of Oz, very Technicolor, very over-coloured.
Over-saturated stuff,
but whatever you want to say about it, yes, it's a not-so-subtle nod. Yeah. It does look really nice.
Yeah, it is good.
I did not also think that jacket was red. I thought it was a black jacket. I did.
I also thought it was a black jacket as well. I was quite surprised to see it.
I like that it ends with... the kind of inclination that Man-Thing and the werewolf are mates when they're both monstered up. I guess Man-Thing is always monstered up, but the werewolf clearly was like, where's my boys at? And went and got himself in a tent and was like, fucking rough night for me. And then he woke up and he had a coffee or whatever. Like, I like all of that. That's fun.
That's going to be me and you after your stag. When we wake up in a fucking field in Las Vegas.
Oh, we're so famous for being party animals. Two of us that like the height of our the most I do in a week is come upstairs to record this. But yeah, no, that's pretty much me on it. I completely see where you're coming from in terms of like this isn't for everyone, and yeah, it is definitely nostalgia porn.
This is not for me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
just like we said
fine.
last week. Don't stick with things if you don't like them.
No, not everything needs to be for everyone. And I do not feel compelled to send death threats to anyone involved with the making of this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drink my Pepsi Max and enjoy literally the billions of hours of other content that is available to me.
It's fair. It's fair. I, on the other hand, am going to go send death threats to Michael Giacchino.
No, let me be clear. I am also going to call for Kevin Feige's head.
Oh, there we go then, yeah.
On a stick. So.
I heard him and Kathleen Kennedy have already been fired just from our public outcry.
Kathleen Kennedy has been fired like 12 times now.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe one of them will stick.
That was fun. Nathan, what I do at the start of these episodes, and I'll tell people if they've skipped forward, if they missed the beginning, blah, 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 whatever, is I ask you a question. It could be a hypothetical, it could be a what if, it could be a yes or a no, it could be related to the topic we're talking about, it could not be. I ask you a question, I give you till the end of the recording where I will ask for your answer now, which I will do, but first I will repeat the question for anyone that missed it. I couldn't think of anything fresh and exciting to say, so it's Mental Wellness Day. Check up on your homies. How are you, Nathan?
I don't believe it's Mental Wellness Day.
No, it is here though.
Is it?
Every day is Mental Wellness Day at another Happy Studios.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Great.
It is our top priority to ensure that the homies are up to scratch.
No, I'm as happy as I could possibly be.
Oh no. And he set vague parameters for what that could be. We'll never know.
No, I am doing good. I will be honest, earlier this year I did struggle quite badly mentally, alright? Not to get into too much detail, but there was a point where I hit a low point, basically. Since then, I have got a new job, kind of. I have moved into my own flat, and I am doing a lot better.
Hey!
So, on the up and up. I am a man who owns his own castle, in that I do not own it, and I pay rent to a landlord.
You are merely an occupier of a castle that is rented to you for... I don't think you're getting fucked by the landlord. This is a pretty reasonable price. I am not getting fucked.
This is... Look, all landlords are scum, alas, as we all know. But...
Is that one? I didn't know that was one.
That's. I made that up on the top of my head.
We're coining it. Alas, let's go.
Alas.
Wait, hang on. Isn't that just alas?
No, because alas would be two.
Oh, so no. Alas is literally spelled alas. ALAS.
No. When you say alas, what do you mean?
Like
you mean alas?
But alas.
But alas. Yeah, I see what you're saying. No.
Okay, no.
Because this is all in capital.
Oh, I see.
So
okay. So it's alas.
It's alas, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not alas, it's alas. Much like a cab.
Yeah.
So, yeah, alas, as we have said for many years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty good price.
It's not a bad price. Yeah, you're getting...
It's a pretty good rate.
You're getting a good deal. How many bedrooms are we talking?
2 bedrooms.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do.
And I'm going to need 1.
You do. So. You've got a little office set up then. Use the second one.
I do. Yes. Yeah, it's going well.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad we took this time to check in.
Yeah. Welcome to the new segment where we brag about our rental properties. What episode is this, Lawrence? What number episode is this?
I believe this is 93. I will double check.
93, the year I was born. Not 93. There's another 19 in front of that.
You just at the 93 years since the dawn of time. Nathan was kicking about. Well, It's the 93rd we've recorded, but published. You'll find that Nathan accidentally deleted a WandaVision episode.
You'll also find that Lawrence just straight up didn't edit one and didn't put it up.
All right, we can do this.
We're going
we
there.
can do
We
this
can go back
dance
and
all
forth
night.
all day. Yeah, exactly.
We've both equally, I think, lost some episodes along the way.
Yeah, we've both had some faux pas along the way. But look, our official 100th episode is right around the corner, and I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think
we have something planned.
we do have something planned.
We have something confirmed.
Well, actually, we only have one thing confirmed. As far as the plan for the episode,
actually, yes.
we have no idea.
We don't know because
It's not in our hands.
it's in someone else's hands.
I mean, we could say no, but I genuinely think whoever it is that is coming on for that episode could come on and say, I want to review a plastic bag I got from the supermarket, and I would say,
Yes.
absolutely, miss.
No. Bleep that out.
All right, I will.
We're not gonna say it officially until we've recorded the episode.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we recorded it and then like my mic wasn't on?
I think I would kill you. It's spooky time next week. Get excited because it's
time for our annual tradition.
This will make it an annual tradition.
Well, yes, I think we just officially decided it's an annual tradition last year.
Yeah,
but
this will cement it in place.
Yes.
Next week we're going to be doing this.
Do you want to die? Is that the best you can do? Because Billy and Stu were much more original.
2.
Are you rewatching the first one, or are you going straight back in?
I think I will.
I think I will too. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, thank you for sticking through and listening to the whole thing. If you enjoyed it, you can follow us on social media. We're at Another Happy Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's Mental Wellness Week. I'm not going to say anything. It's Mental Wellness.
Just by saying you're not going to say anything.
No. Right, but for the audio listeners, Nathan was giving me a look like, go on then, do it. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to rise because he's the one that hasn't made any TikToks.
There it is. I've been busy.
Thank you for listening. You can also give us a review if your platform that you listen to this has a little review capability. Drop us a 5 stars on there. If not, maybe just leave us a comment somewhere. Let us know that you're enjoying it. Let us know you're listening.
Write a message on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle, throw it in the ocean. Eventually, it will get to us, and we'll give it a good read and have a little chuckle.
Side story: when I was younger, I had a toy action figure, and the name of said action figure was Green Goblin with Glider. I once threw him in the ocean in Spain because I heard that things you throw in the ocean will come back to you. I was devastated.
You heard it here first, folks. Lawrence throws plastic
No!
into the ocean. No. He is killing those turtles single-handedly.
No.
Cancel that man. How have we been recording for an hour and 10 minutes?
And I'd like to point out a good 10 minutes at the start and a good probably 20 at the back end are not related to what we're talking about.
Yeah, probably not. We got a little carried away, but hey, that happens sometimes when you're having a conversation with friends.
Especially when it's Mental Wellness Week.
Fuck off. Join us next week. We've already done that. Bye.
See you later.
See ya.